What it do, what it do. Today we're gonna be reacting to Salt Bae's Empire Starting to Fall, Sunny V's video. Let's get right into it.
Closures, rapidly declining reviews, and his lowest growth on Instagram in over 6 years. Things have gone from bad to worse for Salt Bae, which is best observed by looking at each controversy up until this unfavorable point.
Number one, anybody paying $500-600 for steaks is mentally ill.
His first time in hot water came just months after Salt Bae first went viral, occurring when fans scrolled back through his Instagram to find this photo commemorating the life of Fidel Castro in the days after his death. At around the same time, Salt Bae had recently opened a steakhouse in
Motherfuckers, I swear, there's people who literally hold existence. It's the fag shit that you did in your past and try to expose you. They have nothing better to do with because their lives is horrible, so they gotta ruin yours.
Miami, a city to which approximately 500,000 Cubans had fled to as a result of Castro's leadership. Some people just don't think. To post pics like this and then open a restaurant in Miami. Really? I just called and cancelled 2 reservations and told them how I feel about their salt guy.
Like, people like this, I don't like people like this. Oh, I seen something you posted and it offended me, so now I don't like. Bro, I swear, bro, I can't stand people in 2023.
Nice thought, WTF. He should open in Cuba and sprinkle his salt over there. The comments on the post itself echoed a similar sentiment, leading Salt Bae to remove the picture. However, he'd find himself in a similar controversy less than a year later. In September 2018, Salt Bae came under scrutiny once again for providing a feast to the Venezuelan president, who governs a country in which 64% of people have reported losing significant amounts of weight, 11 kilos or 24 pounds on average, amid worsening food shortages. As a Venezuelan, it angers me seeing my president feasting on a meal while me and my family.
Like, let's keep it real. I own a restaurant. People come to my restaurant. You think I'm doing research? Oh my god. He runs this country and he's not a good leader and the people are mad at me. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. He want a steak, I'm making him a steak. Like, people be... Everything is some, political. Like, bro. He came to my restaurant, he wants a steak. Get your weird ass off my fucking Instagram. Like, these people are weirdos. Like,
family was starving.
Oh, we're starving and the president's eating a steak. Get the fuck out of Venezuela. Like, you in an impoverished country, get out. Leave, bro. What the fuck? What are you supposed to do? Bring you back a steak? Like, these people are weirdos.
This video. This guy eating tomahawk steaks or whatever that is, and the people from his country dying of hunger. Food tastes so much better when you know the folks back home are starving. After the Venezuelan president then explained that Salt Bae...
So that's Salt Bae's fault. You think Salt Bae even gives a fuck, or even he don't care about none of that? The dude came to his restaurant, he paid God knows how much money for a funky ass steak so he could do this shit. You think he cares about, or he think about political shit that's going on back in his country? He's the president of people. He don't care about none of that. He makes steak.
Salt Bae had personally invited him to the restaurant. Protests broke out in front of Salt Bae's Miami restaurant, with one sign reading,
"These people are
insane. Salt Bae, that in the time it took you to wine and dine dictator Maduro with your bloody meat, at least one Venezuelan child died of extreme malnutrition." However, this might not have even been Salt Bae's biggest controversy for the month. Only 8 days after these protests, a new article was posted reading, 4 tourists are set on fire at Instagram star Salt Bae's Istanbul restaurant, which had happened as a result of a fire show gone wrong. One of the tourists who'd been set on fire was a Czechoslovakian YouTuber and model named Tina Stresnikova, who suffered
This is something here to be up in arms about. Somebody get caught on fire at your restaurant, now we have a problem. Oh my god, you've seen him serving steak to that guy? He probably don't even give a fuck who that guy is. You think he's researching into his background or what he does? No. Oh, this is some rich guy, you want to buy a steak? Alright, I don't care.
It burns to more than 35% of her body and can be seen with slight but visible burn scars on her Instagram even till this day. Her 23-minute video on the topic, translating to "the moment that changed my life," is unfortunately spoken in Czechoslovakian without subtitles. However, an article posted a year after the incident stated that Tinus had received no compensation for the mistake and that the restaurant had instead destroyed all evidence related to the incident. Salt Bae did eventually pay out $230,000 in compensation, although not to Tinus for permanently altering her appearance, but rather to 4 mistreated employees in Salt Bae's next big controversy. The 4 employees claimed that Salt Bae was taking 3% from their total tips, which was followed by Salt Bae firing the 4 employees after being confronted about it. As a result, the employees launched a wrongful termination lawsuit, explaining that their former boss had an authoritarian, dictatorial attitude who doesn't doesn't care about local laws. They even suggested Salt Bae likened himself to Tony Montana and humiliated them on occasions in the lawsuit. Yet Salt Bae responded by stating, "I don't get a share of the employees' tips. I've never done that in any of my restaurants. I was not satisfied with the performance of the 4 employees. They didn't match my understanding of work. They weren't as good as I wanted, so I terminated their contract right away." Yet these 4 employees weren't the only ones claiming that they'd been mistreated while working for Salt Bae. A former employee at the Nusret restaurant in London described it as gold from the outside but shit from the inside, whilst another compared the working environment to the Hunger Games, as staff never knew if they'd be fired during a shift, with a third likening the restaurateur to a dictator. Former employee...
Okay. Alright, if this is true, alright, this is something to be talking shit about, like... Oh my god.
Frank Tufano stated that he was treated poorly as a result of being American, while another former manager explained his world was nothing but Instagram and fame. The sensation was him. He ended up getting this godlike complex, highlighting Salt Bae's next big problem. With massive artworks of his one viral moment, and every third Instagram picture being him working out shirtless, it seems Salt Bae is just a bit too full of himself, and while some degree of ego might be necessary for success,
to get where you, come on, you have to have some type of I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fucking blew up from doing this shit on Steak and got 15 restaurants, a multi-millionaire. You feel like the man. You can't help but feel like the man.
Takes it to a whole new level. When interviewed
Being
by
an
the Times in
asshole is a whole different
2019,
thing. I don't know.
Salt Bae
I never
seemed
went there. I
convinced
would
that
never
every kid wanted to
spend
be him,
hundreds of dollars on
stating,
steak.
now everybody wants to be...
I don't care about stuff like that. Like, most people do stuff like this so they could take videos and take pictures like, oh look, I'm here at Salt Bae eating $1,000 steak like a dickhead. Like, that's why people do that. Like, the food is, I've always heard the food is not that good too. Like, the food ain't that good. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other restaurants that serve better food that's cheaper, but you know, look, people spend $1,000 on a steak even though I can barely pay my rent like a dickhead. People are dumb, like,
to be a butcher because of me. Now, if you ask a kid, they want to be Salt Bae. They see me as an
I'm
idol.
getting government assistance.
Here
I am eating $1,000
in a very short period of time. Also, always taking the opportunity to brag about money. Salt Bae had posted an $8,000 bill as well as a different $47,000 bill.
Yet who's paying that? I've never. That's one meal, and I'm the type, like, I go. That's why I don't really like restaurants too, cause I go, I eat. Yeah, it's fun, it's nice, cool. But literally, I swear, every single time, by the time I get home, I'm hungry again. It's like, what the fuck? I just spent hundreds of dollars and I'm hungry right now. Now I gotta go outside and get some bullshit food by the store. It's like, let alone I don't think I've ever spent more than like $200-300 at a restaurant. No more than that. And even that is like, what, or whatever, that's fine. $3,000? Unless this was a party, like you was throwing a party in this fucking restaurant for like 30 people, there's no way $3,100, 400, get what? That's 31,000. That's $31,475. This one is $37,023. Suck my dick. $850 for a tomahawk steak. Keep your funky ass. $850 for a steak. 3 herb crust fries, $30. 1 sauteed mushroom, $12. 1 sauteed broccoli, $12 for a mushroom. I hate people. 1 Red Bull, $11 for some reason. 4 golden back, whatever the fuck, 200. 16, whatever the fuck, 400. 2 extra still, whatever the fuck, 18. 1 extra sparkling, I'm sure that's probably sparkling water, $9, whatever, that's reasonable, I guess. 1 whatever the fuck, $9,100. What did you pay $9,100 for? I don't know what that must be some champagne or some 1996. It's probably some champagne or a bottle of wine or some shit like that. I don't drink, thank God. 2 Petrus 2003 bottle, 1. No, that's $9,100. The other one is $19,000 for a bottle, 2 bottles. So they probably like $10,000 a piece. 2 Dom Perignon Rose 2006 bottles, $1,620.
The picture that really kicked up a stink was the $167,000 bill posted to Salt Bae's Instagram with the title "Quality Never Expensive." The opulent bill makes
$167,000. People make me mad. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. You spent 100. I don't even talk about it no more. It's gonna get me bad. I don't want to talk
comments such as, "I have eaten in your restaurant. Quality is questionable," and "I've eaten there. The food was not good."
Come on, I know the food is not that amazing, dude. I don't give a fuck what you put on that food and what you season it with and what you putting on that bitch. It ain't worth no $1,500, $20,000 for no liquor. That's different. It looked like the bottles was really costing the most money, the liquor, because in restaurants it's just like you go to the fucking bar, you go to the club, you're paying 4 times as much for a bum ass Henny bottle. I don't know why people do it. They're just dumb, I guess. Whatever, they trying to show off, because that's really what it comes down to. You trying to show that you got money. Fuck showing you got money. You're just wasting money. I'm not spending $1,000 on no bottle, let alone 20 racks on 2 bottles.
Ordered the $2,000 steak before stating this:
$2,000 steak. Bro, I could make a steak right now. That's better than that shit.
It was not what we expected. For $2,000, I gotta say, I thought it would be way bigger.
Also adding that the $275 tomahawk steak had been cooked incorrectly.
That was rare, even though we ordered medium rare. Now, there's nothing wrong with rare steak, but if you order medium rare...
I don't even like, me personally, I don't eat my food with blood in it. I don't want no food with blood in it. I'm sorry. I'm the weirdo. I'm the weird one. I don't like blood in my food. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to eat steak, and I'm not a steak connoisseur or whatever the fuck you want to call me. I don't want to cut my food and it's bleeding. I don't want to feel like I just killed the animal when I'm about to eat the bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Everybody's different. Whatever.
Rare, you should get what you paid for.
A different YouTuber, UA Eats, who was looking to give a purely objective review, stated that the waiter's performance was fun, yet the quality of the food was no better than any other steakhouse. On TripAdvisor, Salt Bae's
look at the food. The food don't look. It looks bland. It looks regular.
Restaurant is ranked at 15,200 out of 15,700 restaurants, with its rating of 2.5 stars, making it worse than 96.8% of all other restaurants in the city. The steakhouse features predominantly terrible and 1-star reviews, with most complaining about horrible quality, bad service, and so incredibly expensive for such a bad quality of food. This guy was...
This is what you wanted, though. This is what you stupid motherfuckers wanted. You want to pay thousands of dollars for bullshit. Just knowing no food should cost that much alone should let you not want to go into the restaurant and pay that shit. Let alone the food not even being good. You stupid motherfuckers, you.
Guy was upset after the restaurant charged him 44 British pounds for 4 Red Bulls. However, at least he didn't call the police after finding out the price, which is what happened over in Florida. Whilst eating at Salt Bae Steakhouse in Miami, Dwayne Miranda ordered 2 standard $275 tomahawk steaks, yet he was instead...
I mean, that looked like it'll fill you, but $275 for just a steak?
Unknowingly presented with 2 golden tomahawk steaks, being charged more than $5,000 for it.
Get the fuck out of here. So you tell me, just because you sprinkled some, I don't know what, I guess edible gold, whatever, it's now $2,225 more expensive? What the fuck?
For his meal when he eventually got to the counter. We ordered 2 tomahawk steaks and a rack of lamb for the table. When the bill came, we were shocked by the total. They insisted that we...
Don't be shocked. This is what you motherfuckers get. You're balling, right? You got money to just throw away hundreds of dollars on a funky ass steak. You shouldn't mind paying $5,000.
Ordered the golden option and charged us $1,000 for each. We absolutely did not order that option. Although we did eat what was brought to the table, thinking this was the normal presentation for our order. It was clear that the...
You thought that was normal, huh? Well, you was wrong.
Waiter was trying to take advantage of the situation. After disputing the misunderstanding with management, they decided to involve local law enforcement rather than do the right thing. We paid the disputed $5,000 bill to avoid...
You see what I'm saying? You got money, clearly. You just paid $5,000 for some shit that should have costed, I guess, what, like $600-700. It probably would have been everything. I don't know what they got. It probably, let's say $1,000. You just paid $5,000. You paid $4,000 more for some shit you didn't ask for. You clearly got the money, because ain't nobody who don't have the money is doing that. Bro, call the police. We making a scene up in here. Call the police, bro. I'm not paying no $5 for no funky ass food. You crazy? Bro, you can buy a used car with that.
This was still minor in comparison to what happened at Salt Bae Steakhouse in Boston. After opening up on the 18th of September 2020, the restaurant, quote, almost immediately
lining up to spend thousands of dollars.
Violations. City inspectors reported that COVID-19 safety guidelines were being flouted, crowds were not social distancing, 2 fire exits were blocked, permits were not in order, the dishwasher was not running hot enough, and the refrigerators were apparently too cold, leading the government to shut the restaurant down only 1 week after opening. In the meantime, Salt Bae posted this seemingly wholesome family photo to his Instagram, yet this would also end in another wave of criticism. Turkey chef Salt...
This is the thing. I think the food would be like good if he's cooking it. I'm pretty sure he's a good chef. He can cook and whatever, and the steak probably be all magnificent. But he's not in every single restaurant. I don't know how much restaurants he got. It's probably a few all across the country, across the world, it seems like, in all different countries. Let's just say you got 20 restaurants. I don't know which one he's at most of the time, but he can only be at one place at one time. So the other restaurants is regular chefs. Like, I'm pretty sure they chefs or whatever, but they probably not him. They're not good like him. They're not making the food like him. So everybody's making the food different. That's the thing when you have like franchises. The food might be good in this location over here, and it might be dog shit over here. The customer service is going to be dog shit over here. The people is fucking ignorant, acting dumb. That's just how it go. Because not everywhere is the same people. Them franchises, some places is good service, good food, everything. You go to the other spot a mile or 2 up the road, and these niggas is ignorant, food tastes like shit, and they ready to fight you. It's like, that's what you may get in certain places. That's why the shit's shutting down. But when he making your food, it's probably done a certain way. But the chef in fucking Boston probably don't know how to cook as good as him.
Salt Bae meets mother after 2 years, criticized for not looking after her. It seems Salt Bae was getting loads of backlash in every situation, regardless of whether or not he deserved it.
Yeah,
for example, when a waiter at one of his restaurants accidentally dropped a steak, Salt Bae was getting roasted in the comments by people saying that he was going to charge them twice. People simply didn't like him, so when he'd actually do something deplorable in December 2022, the whole world took it as a chance to completely and utterly destroy him. After Argentina beat France in the World Cup final, Salt Bae waltzed onto the field as if he was everybody's best friend.
Wait a minute.
He pestered Messi for a photo, snatched the World Cup from a baby, and bit down on one of the winner's medals, prompting negative comment after negative comment.
I mean, this is the only way there should be any negative comments. Did the players or the people, was they like uncomfortable? Did they have a problem with it? Did they let it be known to the world, yeah, I didn't like that, I wasn't feeling that he was doing too much? If that didn't happen, all you motherfuckers need to shut up. Because that's like me watching some shit and being offended for somebody else. I don't be offended for other people. Like, you don't defend somebody who ain't defended themselves. If you don't have a problem with it, who the fuck is you to jump in? Yeah, I don't like that. Well, he didn't have a problem with it. He clearly liked it. We're cool. Why the fuck you telling me how to act? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't tell them how to, you know how they feel. If they had a problem with it, or if they talked about it, like, this motherfucker was doing too much, he's acting crazy, I don't even know him, he grabbing me, like, then you have a reason to be up in arms. If none of the players didn't have a problem with it or said anything about it, then what the fuck? People just looking for a reason to hate him because he's doing so much shit. Right. And the food is so expensive, so people like, fuck you.
World Cup selfies
and some people, there's people like that. Like, especially when you get big and famous or whatever the case may be. Most people aren't doing that good in life. Their life is really sad, it's horrible. You getting up day to day, going to a piece of shit job, living a horrible existence. See what I'm saying? Just getting by. That's most people's lives. Whether they got a significant other or not, you just living a fucked up life for the average person. So they see him shining, getting money, doing all this, living his best life. Any little thing that he do that's not that's just how it go for everybody. Everybody who's in the public eye, there's 1,000, just 10, 20, 30,000 people whose whole existence is to talk shit about you every chance they get, disagree with everything you say, try every way to get you canceled and get you like sent back down to the bottom. That's their whole existence, because that's what they are. Misery loves company, and most people think that way. They don't want to see other people happy or other people shining or them living their best life. They want them to be where they at, struggling and fucked up and sad all the time. So any episode, when you in the limelight, you gotta damn near be like this all the time, because anything you do, yep, got him. I knew it. I knew the whole time he wasn't shit. It's like, what he just did is something that everybody does, but because he's in the limelight, we gonna make it bigger than what it is, and this, that, and the third. We gotta make a scene out of it. But if a regular person who do that same dumb shit, it's not gonna be on CNN, because nobody gives a fuck about you. You're a nobody. But because I'm a somebody, and that's the only thing I don't like. Everybody has an opinion. Meanwhile, you look into their life, they a sick, weirdo motherfucker doing God knows what behind closed doors. But because they're nobody, nobody's watching them and putting their business all out in the street. But this is why you gotta be like this.
Only a day later, the FIFA president unfollowed Salt Bae on Instagram before launching an investigation into how Salt Bae was allowed on the field, revealing that
now it seems like what the fuck he was doing on the field. Now we got a problem. But I'm pretty sure none of the players talked about it, because they really probably didn't even care.
Only the World Cup winners and heads of state are allowed to touch the trophy during the closing ceremony, let alone kiss and disrespect it. The next day, Salt Bae tried to show that he and Messi were friends by posting a video of them together in his steakhouse. However, comments such as "old video where Messi made a mistake visiting your restaurant" showed that fans definitely weren't buying it. Excluding this video, Salt Bae provided no response to his World Cup behavior until just 1 month ago, when he'd finally talk about the event in a tell-all interview. He stated, "It was a combination of my love of Argentina and my excitement. I love Argentina, I've lived there. I went to support them. Many of the team have come to the restaurant. I didn't feel a stranger, it was a special moment. I can't do anything about the reason I was there, but I would never ever step on the World Cup pitch again. There were 2 billion people watching the World Cup. How many people are speaking about me? 5 billion, the whole world."
And the funny part about it is, if it was somebody else that's not hated and they did that, people would have been like, they would have just turned a blind eye to it. But because he did it and people already don't like him, and they just like looking for a reason. What did Salt Bae do? I know he did something for me to hate on today. Let me get up and just hate. Like, their whole existence is to wake up every day to hate. So
world. I didn't go on the pitch with the purpose of advertising. I just felt like it. Then there was a bit of a surprise. There were at least another...
Because it seems so far from what I've seen so far, it seems like he's probably an asshole, but I don't see nothing to where it's like he deserves to go to jail. But that's how people's acting, like this motherfucker's a murderer and he needs to be put behind bars. It's like, the restaurants may fuck up some of the food. He ain't cooking the food personally, so he can't really control that. A lot of the things that's happening is like he's not the one directly causing these things to happen. It's just happening. Occasionally he posts some dickhead shit on his Instagram. That's why you need to stay the fuck off Instagram. Or don't post nothing about your life. Once you're a celebrity, don't post shit about your life. Just post random shit. But don't post nothing with your family, taking pictures, doing anything. Don't post pictures being happy. Don't be happy on Instagram. Because people, they're going to run it into the ground. They're gonna talk shit. They're gonna talk about your kids. They're gonna talk about this. Don't post shit like that. I don't know why people do it. Like, why you want millions of people in your business? That's just weird to me.
Another 1,000 people on the pitch, but when they show the video, they make out it was just me. I never ever wanted to overshadow anything. I didn't like the attention, with the possible motive for the explanation being that things haven't been going so well for Salt Bae ever since that day. Just 2 weeks prior to giving that interview, Salt Bae had to close down his self-titled Salt Bae Burger restaurant in New York City, which had gained a reputation for selling $99 gold-flaked milkshakes and $100 burger wrapped in gold foil. On top of this, it's been reported that Salt Bae Steakhouse in Greece is now receiving 1/3 of the bookings it used to, from 600 per day to approximately 200 per day, while his London steakhouse, which we discussed earlier as having some of the worst reviews in the city, recently announced that they'd be reducing their prices in, quote, what appears to be a desperate bid to entice customers back through its doors. Over the last 6 months, Salt Bae has gained approximately 300,000 followers per month, and while this is still a bafflingly extremely high number for someone who seemingly does very little. This is the lowest growth he's had on social media since first blowing up in January 2017.
I mean, I don't think the amount of people following on social media really matters, so it's gonna slow down or whatever. Everything in the beginning, there's a big, you always shoot up to the stars when you first start off. It's gonna taper off. Everything tapers off. It's like everything in life, relationships, everything. In the beginning, you're hot and spicy. The 2 years down the line, you like this. Like, god damn, this bitch annoying. She like, this nigga ain't shit. That's how it go. Once y'all get used to each other, it's not necessarily you hate the person, but it's just little shit. Now it's like, oh my god. When y'all first, you on the motherfucker. So in the beginning, he was blowing up. That's 2017, 6 years ago. He's not still gonna be getting 10 million followers every day. There's only so much people that fucking cares about Salt Bae. It's gonna slow down. 300,000 followers a month? God damn, that's a lot. The you talking about, Sonny? You tripping? 300,000 a month? That's some good numbers. How much you expect to get? That's not bad. And it's gonna slow down. How much was he getting before? Shit. If he only getting 300,000 now, he's getting like millions. Who the fuck is all these millions of people following Salt Bae? Fuck. Like, what does he eat? Does this? Whatever. I don't know. That's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. I'll be back to y'all with another one. Let's go.